What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ryan, and this is the Thunder Channel on nootropics and a lot of other stuff. Thanks so much for being with me. So I want to talk about being that guy at the restaurant that is like, nah, I really don't want to eat this, or I kind of can't eat that and can't eat this. And, you know, the whole reductionist way of thinking around eating and how that's typically stigmatized. But I want to explain to you why it shouldn't be, and why, quite honestly, you should adopt an approach similar when it comes to the stuff that you're putting in your body. In the meantime, if you'd like access to a powerful nootropic stack, courses that teach you how to use nootropics the right way to get better results, or you'd like to have me formulate your entire nootropic regimen, pay attention to the following products. Number one, the Cortex Nootropic Stack. Look, powerful mental energy, powerful pre-made stack, 7 years on the market, ships to 40 countries. And this is the kind of stack you take if you just want to turn everything on: verbal fluency, mental energy, motivation, the drive to work. It's a very productivity-oriented, clean stimulant energy nootropic stack. Get it at livecortex.com. If you get it on subscription, you get smarter, better, faster with it for free. Courses. So look, if you're new to nootropics, this is where you have to start, with Nootropics Ground Zero. I see a lot of people asking a lot of questions, even here on the channel, about things that they would have learned had they gotten Nootropics Ground Zero. I mean, you'll save years of research and experimentation and rummaging around the web and looking at disparate information just getting Nootropics Ground Zero if you're pretty much new to nootropics. Go get that course, livecortex.com. Mid-level course is the Nootropics Masterclass. So if you're in a year or so, but want to ascend to the 6-year mark pretty quickly, get the Nootropics Masterclass. Higher level principles in that course. Highest course available in terms of knowledge on nootropics and, importantly, results is the Nootropics God course. This is where I'm at. So if you want to understand how I think about formulating stacks, how I formulate stacks for clients, get the Nootropics God course, because it's very high-level principles in that course. Lastly, if you'd like to have me formulate your nootropic regimen, your energy regimen, even your diet, your sleep regimen, your test regimen, work with me. Go to livecortex.com, go to the consulting tab, and check out the available options. And by the way, consulting also applies to people with large-scale chemistry issues, brain chemistry issues that need to be resolved, and then we can build performance on top of that. Get all that stuff at livecortex.com. All right. Oh, and by the way, coupon code 15NOW, 15NOW, 15NOW gets you 15% off everything, including consults. All right. So look, I am the guy that, when I'm at restaurants or whatever, I'm looking at the menu and I'm like, you know what? I can't really eat that, or I can't really eat that. And not that I couldn't eat it. It just, I choose what I eat based on a few things. How it's going to make me feel subjectively, how it's going to allow me or not allow me to perform in the ensuing hours. Like after a dinner with a friend or something, I might want to go home and do a live stream, or I may want to go home and do some work for Cortex Labs, or, write one of the products that I'm writing right now. And I also think about it from the perspective of like, well, is it going to be reparative or is it going to damage me? And the primary perspective from that is looking at inflammation, systemic inflammation, an inflammatory response as a result of food damaging your body, particularly the vascular system, and then the immune system releasing inflammatory cytokines to the spot to try to repair it. That's ultimately what they're for. Those cytokines cross the blood-brain barrier, and in the clinical literature, inhibit neurotransmitter synthesis, particularly dopamine and serotonin synthesis. This is not good to have going on, right? And people walking around with brain fog, for some folks, it could be the way that you're eating and the ensuing inflammation that is taking place. All right, so that's just the preface, right? So like, people would say, or do say, and have said to me, like, oh, Ryan, like, it's one of those guys that can't eat this or can't eat that or doesn't want to eat this. It's not that I can't eat it. It's that I want to perform awesomely, and I know what these things will do to my body versus not. And so here's the major point I want to make to folks. People always go, if they're gonna eat that way or think that way around food, well, that means I can't eat this, or that means I can't eat this, or like, does this really mean that I should be, I have to be in a caloric deficit 3 or 4 days of the week, and then maintenance the other days, and a surplus maybe one day? Like, I can't eat pizza Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. When I'm on the run and I need food, like, I can't just go to Subway. Like, I can't do these sort of things. And the answer is like, dude, how do you want to feel? Okay? This is the big thing. Like folks go, oh, no, this means that there's just certain things that I can't do. Now I'm limited. Like if I go out to a restaurant, there's only a certain amount of foods that I can eat. Think of it this way. You don't want to eat certain foods for pleasure that are damaging your body and preventing you from functioning really, really well. You would take a person and put them on a modified regimen of, just as an example, being in a caloric deficit 3 days of the week, a maintenance 3 days of the week, and then a surplus 1 day of the week. And then also in terms of what the person is eating, you'd have them eating, call it oatmeal and bananas and strawberries in the morning, juicing for their snack at 11 or noon instead of eating like a gigantic lunch. Then around 2 p.m. maybe having some, a little bit of pasta with some spices and salt and asparagus over it, maybe a little hummus on top, and then not eating a dinner like 4 days of the week and instead juicing for dinner. And then letting the migrating motor complex of their gut activate and have, so that they can have better energy, but also digest food and clear some of the bacterial debris that's in there that is causing some of their digestive issues. Like a person will look at that and go, well, how long do I have to do this for? Like this is the major point I want to make. How long do I have to do this for before the eventual point at which I start eating like shit again? Wrong fucking question. I'm very passionate about this stuff, as you guys can tell. It's not that because look, eating the way that you want to go back to, in this way that like, I can eat everything, is what caused the problem you have to begin with. So people are literally complaining on like somewhat restrictive diets, when really the restrictive diet and the intelligent food choice is getting them to the point where they can repair the chemistry and repair their gut and repair how their digestive system works. Like that's pissing them off and putting them in a place where they're like, this is really limiting. When can I eat like shit again? Well, it's eating like shit that got you there to begin with. Never. Never. And people have this weird idea like about people that can, I know Joe or whoever that could eat everything and anything at any given time. Maybe he gains weight, but he feels awesome and has much energy. And you ask him and he's like, I don't have any digestive problems. I'm straight. Joe is on his way to health problems, okay? So those people that can eat pretty much everything, they're on their way to health problems. There's only a certain amount of time that you can not give yourself nutrient-dense, real foods before the wheels fall off the bus. Now, some people, that time would be prolonged. Like it'll be a longer time until they actually reach total disaster in their physiology and their health. Others, it's sooner, right? It just all depends on your physiology, your genetics, whether or not you have an autoimmune disorder, like so many different things, thyroid functioning, blood glucose functioning, etc. But a lot of those major markers of energy, like thyroid function, like blood glucose, like your digestion, will break, and your hormones will break if you're consistently eating like shit. So if you're one of those people that recognizes that there are certain styles of eating that do not do you well, and you know what they are, I know who you are, I know you guys know, there are plenty of you out there, and you're thinking about it from the perspective of like, well shit, okay, so I've got to be on this modified eating regimen, but like when will I be able to eat whatever I want? Wrong way of thinking. When, because you're asking the question, when can I eat in a way that is going to damage my body? Imagine framing it that way. Just think about that for a second. Imagine asking yourself the question, when's going to be the time that I can eat in a way that's going to damage my physiology? I'm super excited about that. Right? Sounds fucking crazy, because it totally is. So don't have shame or like feel reluctant to be the person or even be a victim of the stigma of being that person that is restrictive on what they eat. Oh no, like I don't really want to eat that or this or that or like whatever. Like, I'll have a salmon salad, or I'll have, a piece of beef and some vegetables and like, some mashed potatoes or something light on the butter. Whatever it ends up being. Don't be the person that feels bad about doing that in the presence of other people that are damaging their health by eating like shit all the time. It's like this weird social construct where people think like, oh, this makes me seem less cool, or like I'm gonna I'm going to not fit in with the group of people like, oh, there's a complicated eater at the table. Oh, no, what are you gluten-free too? Like, don't think about that, because those are the people that are either currently having issues with their physiology and energy, or eventually will. No question about it. Like, the human body is not set up to eat foods that are not delivering you high quantities of vitamins and minerals, right? You know, in a way which, like, thinking about how the Japanese eat, allows you to, like, later on activate the migrating motor complex and actually properly digest your food and assimilate it all. I don't like it's the only way to eat, really, for energy, for repair, considering inflammation, and making sure that you're not consuming foods that damage your physiology. Okay, so don't be concerned about being that dude or gal that's like, I don't really want to eat that. I'm not going to eat that. I'm being very selective about your eating while out or whatever. Even when you're sitting in the shower, you're like, well, how? This new diet I'm on, say you went Mediterranean, this is really helping my energy and my digestion and my sleep and everything, but when can I fucking eat like shit again? Like, don't ask that question, because remember, you're asking the question, when can I eat in a way that's going to damage my physiology again? That's lunacy. That is a crazy question. That is a bad question to ask. And if you think about it from that frame, you're like, when can I be unhealthy again? Like, it's just a bad question. Does it mean you won't get the dopamine hit from eating like all of your favorite uber tasty foods or whatever? Yes, it does mean that. It doesn't mean the foods that you eat that are healthy can't achieve the same thing. Like, a lot of processed food, like, and bullshit food is kind of made to make you release a bunch of neurotransmitters, right? Like, it's created to taste artificially. When you start eating in a way that is nutrient dense, real foods, but like, you're using things to spice this stuff up, but like real actual stuff, like salt and spices, etc., and just being creative with your meals, like, you really don't want to eat trash food. You definitely don't want to eat processed donuts. You know what I mean? Like, I see that crap at the store. Like, I go to the store every day because I largely eat Mediterranean, a lot of fruits and vegetables and good meat and good tubers, and yeah, there's all kinds of things that look good, but like, they don't even appeal to me anymore, just because I've been eating so well for so long, especially in the last 6 months. I went Mediterranean 6 months ago, changed my life, honestly. Like, you just don't want to go back. You don't crave bullshit. You don't want to eat like crap, and you recognize that you shouldn't be looking at it from the perspective of scarcity. Like, well, when can I eat like shit again? When can I eat, little Debbie's again? Like, it's a stupid question, because you are asking, make no mistake, when can I damage my body again? And that is a dumb question to ask, okay? So don't be afraid to be that person that eats awesomely. Be proud of it. Don't let the stigma get to you. And yeah, like, if you're in a social context and folks are like, oh, here we go again, what, you can't eat, you can't drink water now, it's gonna do something to you, like, you just have to understand that those folks are not clued into their physiology enough. And if they feel fine now, which probably they don't, the wheels will fall off the bus later, but probably they don't. They don't digest their food well, they don't sleep well, they're walking around with brain fog, they're certainly not achieving things, and usually you can tell, okay? Hope that makes sense, and I've given you permission to be restrictive about what you put in your body and be selective about, really, it's not even from the stance of being restrictive, selective really, and then choosing to put the things that will make you perform optimally into your body and not putting things in your body that will make you feel like crap. Thank you so much for being with me, everybody. If you'd like access to a powerful nootropics stack that turns brain function on, or Nootropics courses that teach you how to use nootropics the right way and give you powerfully put together stacks, or you'd like to have me formulate your entire nootropic and energy regimen, pay attention to the following. Number 1, Cortex Nootropic Stack. Focus better, have more energy, focus, motivation, productive drive to do work with the Cortex Stack. Get it at livecortex.com. It was built for entrepreneurs, so like people that just need to get a lot done, but works for everybody, okay? So get Cortex, livecortex.com. On subscription, you will get Smarter, Better, Faster, a digital book on using nootropics for free. That is a huge deal. Courses, look, if you're brand new to nootropics, stop wasting time, stop wasting money, and realize you'll save 3 years if you just get nootropics ground zero. get that video course. I created it for people that are brand new to show you the ropes. You've got to get it because there are principles in there and stacking strategies that will save you many, many years of doing your own R&E and experimentation. Mid-level course, Nootropics Masterclass. And again, the highest level course. So if you want to basically approach nootropics and be at the level of expertise that I am, 10 to 15 year mark, get the Nootropics God course. This is for high level nootropics users, elite level nootropics users. If you want to be that or you consider yourself that, get Nootropics God course at livecortex.com and watch it. Lastly, if you'd like to have me formulate your nootropic regimen, your energy regimen, even your diet if we need to, your sleep regimen, your testosterone regimen, full-on brain performance and energy biohacking, work with me. We've got consulting programs at livecortex.com. You can find them at the consulting tab on the menu. Check out the available options. If there is a unique situation that you want to talk to me about, there's a form on that page that you can fill out and send us an email. It'll go right to us and I will answer you personally that day. Thank you so much for being with me, everybody. Talk to you next time.
Have you ever wanted to feel what it feels like to use all of your brain? To fire on all cylinders, have access to your deepest performance potential, and to tap into the reservoir of pure mental capacity? Well, I've cracked the code to being able to access your full brain. My name is Ryan Michael Ballo, and I am the pioneer of society's modern use of what are called nootropics, brain performance enhancers that trigger neurotransmitter systems to function at peak capacity. But the mere use of nootropics, I found, isn't quite enough. You see, most people are using nootropics entirely in the wrong way, not maximizing potential and yielding the best effects. So I've spent the greater part of the last 15 years studying neuroscience and formulating what is called nootropics usage methodology, a wide collection of highly advanced principles that allow you to unlock your true brain performance potential using nootropics. I dug deep into the core of neurobiology and pharmacology of nootropics to create methods of usage that keep your nootropic stacks hitting hard, staying consistent, and continuously delivering high-performance brain states. And that is what I bring to the table. I have consulted some of the biggest names in business, ranging from entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley to famous actors to business owners and professionals in every vertical, in every industry. What my expertise is in applying the methodology I invented in targeting neurotransmitter and brain function systems to fire on all cylinders, creating highly targeted, custom-tailored nootropic formulations for high-performance business people, entrepreneurs, and elite achievers. I will formulate your heavy-hitting, sustainable, tailored nootropic stacks targeted toward your brain. I will manage your schedule of dosing, and I will ensure through detailed micro-adjustments and continued support that your brain is performing at peak capacity so that you can focus on the bread and butter of your business and your life. Leave it all up to me, and let's get started on your journey in supercharging mental performance.